Hello, good morning, and welcome to the Hayley and Allyson breakfast show here on Backchannel. We are here every morning, Monday to Friday. Get involved with the show. We are interactive. We are here to wake you up in the best possible way this Friday. I am Hayley Ellis. This is Allyson June Smith.
Good morning.
And get involved with the show, people. Let us know where you're listening, where you are in the world and you're listening from. Let us know what you're having for breakfast. Let us know every little thought in your head. We are here for your pleasure this morning. Get involved. All you have to do, the command to give to your device is the word say, followed by whatever you want to let us know this morning. So, for example, you would say, echo, say, good morning, Hayley and Allyson. You both look radiant. You can lie, that's fine. And I'm having a big coffee this morning. Let us know, get involved. We are here all this morning for you for the next 2 hours with a Halloween special.
This is my favorite time of year. I'm so excited. We're talking horror movies. We're talking scary things. We're talking ghosts. We're talking all sorts of paranormal activities. This is probably going to be my favorite show.
Yeah, and I've come in fancy dress as a tired mum this morning. So if you're watching on the live stream, you can see I've made a really big effort to look as exhausted as possible. Before we crack on with our Halloween special, just we're going to do a few happy birthdays this morning to our celebrity listeners. Because it's October, on October the 31st, on Halloween Day, there are some celebrity birthdays. There is Willow Smith, the child of Will and Jada Pinkett.
Do you remember her big song? Do you remember? What is it? I shake my hair back and forth. I shake my hair.
Yeah,
I can't sing it. I'm not
whipping. She was whipping her.
But I changed the word, so it's legally okay. Let's continue.
Okay. There you go. She covered us. If you listen, Willow, don't sue. She is 20 years of age. She's only 20. Amazing.
Wow. That's amazing. She's a wealthy person, though, so she will now stay at 20 for the rest of her lives with all the procedures she has.
Morning, Willow. It's Marcus, wonderful English footballer, Marcus Rashford. He is 23. What an absolute hero he is. And guess what, Allyson? It's Vanilla Ice's birthday.
Ice Baby. I had the biggest crush on him. I loved his hair, the straight up fringe at the front. All right, stop. Collaborate and listen.
Is that the sexy version?
Yeah. All right, stop. Collaborate and listen. Ice is back. He never went anywhere, everyone. He never went anywhere.
And he is 53.
Get out!
There you go.
Well.
Yep, and he's not going to be going anywhere anymore. 53, your options are limited. No more nightclubs for you, Vanilla. I wonder what his hair's like now.
I hope it's the same. I want to imagine it like salt and peppered, gray kind of hair, but still up in the, yeah.
Like an eraser. At the age of, in his 70s, just go in the shot with this big quiff. Happy birthday to you all. If it's your birthday on Halloween, let us know. The way to get involved, the command to give to your device is the word say, followed by echo, say, Hayley and Allyson, it's my birthday on Halloween also, and we will give you a shout out. This is a Halloween themed show today. Like I say, throughout the show, we're going to be doing games, we're going to be doing quizzes, all with the Halloween narrative, because myself and Allyson are big Halloween fans. Before we get cracking, Allyson, do you believe in ghosts? Big question of the morning for you.
Yeah, big question in the morning. You know, for a long time, I thought I did not, but I had a couple of like personal experiences that made me go, okay, I don't want to just believe there's ghosts. I don't want to open myself up to it. But I do think there are things that we can't necessarily explain sometimes. So I don't know if I want to use the word ghost so people just don't turn off. But yeah, I think there's something beyond us.
Yeah, and hopefully if you are a ghost and you have got an echo, get involved in the show. Let us know that you're listening from the other side. All you need to do, the command to give to your device is the word say. I can see that Jerry has joined the stream. Hi, Jerry. We are chatting Halloween themes this morning, Jerry. We are chatting ghosts. We are chatting everything Halloween here on Backchannel on the Hayley and Allyson show. Trick-or-treating. Massive in the US. It's getting bigger and bigger here in the UK, which is where myself and Allyson are based, even though she's originally from Canada. But yeah, I actually decorated the house last night, full Halloween style.
Did you like the outside of the house or the inside of the house?
Outside of the house. Just because, yeah, well, I've got a child now and I don't want to, because usually what I do in Halloween is just turn all the lights out, lay on the floor,
And eat all the candy.
Eat all the candy. Yeah. I'm
Oh.
not in. But this year I've got a daughter now, and I thought I don't want people to think, oh, her mum and dad are really tight, they don't answer the door. So I did bloodied handprints on the door.
Haley, that's so cool. I am so
Yeah.
impressed with you. Yes, bloody handprints on the house. What did you do?
That was it. That was no.
Right. All right. I'm still very impressed. That's wonderful. Oh, because you know what? A lot of people here don't put in any effort. I mean, it's like 50-50. There are some people who are like, we got candy. But you don't see, like when I was growing up, there were haunted houses. Like to walk up to the door to get candy, there would be like people laying in coffins and they'd jump out at you. And I mean, it was magical where I grew up with the amount of effort that was put in. And when I hear about the UK, I feel almost sad because I feel like people just didn't buy into it. You know, it was such a fun, scary experience for me as a kid. And then over here, they were like, maybe a little bit. And especially because the UK people love a fancy, that's what they call it. A costume party is called a fancy dress party. North America.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. They love a fancy dress party. So I don't understand why Halloween wasn't a bigger thing.
Do you still dress up for Halloween, or did you? What was the sort of things did you dress up as a child for Halloween?
Well, I'm dressed up right now as a hybrid of Sarah Palin and Ricky Lake. I don't know if you can.
If you can see Allyson on the stream, she is very correct.
Yeah, I don't dress up for Halloween necessarily anymore. Although every time I do a show, because Hayley and I are both stand-up comedians, every time I do a show around Halloween time, I always kick myself. I'm like, oh, you should have dressed up. You should have dressed up. Why not? So maybe I'll make a promise to myself next year to for sure dress up as something. What would you dress up as if you had to dress up right now, Hayley?
Well, I'll tell you a story about when I dressed up as a child. Yeah, so we have things called pound stores in the UK, which are dollar stores, $1 stores in the US. I don't know if you have them there. And basically, they had devil's horns that you could, they were like suction cups, and you could stick them to your head. I think you know what's going to happen here. So I had these devil horns on for a couple of hours, thought I looked great, took them off, and it looked like I had 2 love bites on my head. They were there for a week. I had to go to school with 2 love bites on my head. So that was an absolute faux pas. If you've got any Halloween disaster stories, let us know. We're an interactive show here at Backchannel on the Hayley and Allyson Breakfast Show. The command to give to your device is the word say, followed by whatever you would like to tell us. And we will be chatting through some of your stories later on. But yeah, that was really humiliating. Usually in the UK, we just stick a bin bag on us to look like a cloak. But that's it. Hi Dan, I can see Dan's joined the stream. Good morning, Dan. We are chatting Halloween stories here on Backchannel on the Hayley and Allyson show. I mean, this year I'm not going to go. I'm actually gigging on Halloween, so I've got a gig, which is great because it means I don't have to answer the door to trick or treaters.
Although it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun though, because looking at little kids all dressed up, that's the cute part. That's the cute part. You're like, oh, what are you? Are you dressed as an obnoxious little child? Yes, you are. Here's your candy. No.
But that annoys me because a lot of times in the UK they don't make the effort. It's just teenagers at your door in their normal clothes. I'm like, at least put on a bit of lipstick or to pretend that you're bleeding from the mouth. Like at least make an effort before this miniature Mars bar I'm going to give you. But yeah, apparently costumes this year. Do you know what the most popular Halloween costumes are for this year?
Okay, most popular Halloween costumes for this year. I'm trying to think. What are they? I mean, I'm going to imagine some sort of. Is it some sort of children's character? Is it a children's character?
It's not. No.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think you'll get it. I'll give you a clue. I'm just going to have to tell you because it's impossible to give you clues. Well, I'll tell you what. One of the clues is it's big on Netflix at the minute.
Are children dressed up as Dave Chappelle or what?
No, definitely not. No. Bernie Sanders. Oh, sorry, that's a different one. Squid Game. It's huge.
Oh, really? Hey, I'm not surprised by that. Although, how many kids are watching Squid Game? I guess it's adults. Are we talking adults are dressing up with the...
Yeah, but another comic friend of ours, she said that she actually got an email from the school saying, can parents not let the children watch Squid Game? Who is letting their child watch Squid Game?
I was thinking that. Wow.
Yeah, it is happening. So Squid Game's a very popular Halloween costume this year, as is, and I love this one, people this year have been dressing as Bernie Sanders from Joe Biden's inauguration. Do you know, he was sat there in his gloves and his coat. Love that.
I think it's fantastic. That is great. And I don't blame you, Bernie. It is chilly. Come on, everyone. Wear some gloves.
Just let you know, every morning here on Backchannel, as well as myself and Allyson, we are joined with a producer, Will. We keep him in a box room because he is so young. He doesn't need daylight.
Hello, I'm not in the middle. I like to be in the middle. There we go. That's better.
Will, you're a young man. Did you ever go trick-or-treating as a child?
Yeah, of course. I used to go with my sister. I distinctly remember going with my sister all the time. It was ace. I can't say I put tons of effort into my costume. I've never been massive into fancy dress. But I distinctly remember one year I begged and begged and begged and begged and begged my parents for this like voice distortion box thing.
Oh,
do you know what I mean?
It's
like a microphone that you clip it and it has a little speaker and it makes your voice go all funny. And so they got it for me on, I don't know, like a couple of days before Halloween. And I was so excited and I played with it like all the time. I used it all the time, broke it before Halloween.
Oh.
Did you sound like Jigsaw from Saw?
I don't know. I've not seen Saw.
It's good to see that you're using it now still, though, on your voice.
This is it. Once I broke it, I mean, it just got stuck. And now I'm stuck like this forever. Yeah. That's it. And then, obviously, when I went to uni, there were some Halloween parties. But I just, it's a lot of effort. Once me and my friend went as each other. So I dressed as her and she dressed as me. That was quite...
Oh, that's fun.
That was a good one. That did quite well. And then once I went as Where's Wally? Or Waldo, if you're in North America. Which I was quite proud of. I had the cane and like the hat and everything. It's pretty good.
That's a great costume, Will. That's a great costume.
Thank you. I think so too.
Well done, producer Will.
There's a fancy dress shop near my house because I live in a big student-y area where there's a lot of like students and young people. They were literally queuing around the corner, around the block for this fancy dress shop yesterday. So there's lots going on.
Imagine if you're queuing for a fancy dress shop and you get there and they're all gone, and they're like, yeah, you're just going to have to go as like Elsa from Frozen. That will have gone. So you're just going to go as a carrot. You'd just be like, oh, great.
I see also it's the one I've seen quite a lot recently is like, let's go as sauces. So you'll be mayonnaise. I'll go as ketchup.
Yeah.
Allyson can be mustard. I see quite a lot of
sauces.
Are you definitely seeing them, Will, or do you need to lie down?
I'm like seeing them. Whether or not they're there is a different story.
You know what, I think. Sorry, I was going to catch up. No, that's okay. I think next year on Halloween, guys, if we have a show on Halloween, even though mainly people are listening, and thank you very much for listening, feel free to join in by say it to your device and add in anything you want to know that you want us to know. But I think next year we should dress up as, go with me here, the Archie comic, and you can be Archie in the middle. You guys know the Archie comic? And then you can be Betty and I'll be Veronica. Wouldn't that be great, Hayley? Look at that. Archie, Betty, and Veronica.
There we go. I mean, I've never seen it. I know what you're talking about, though. But I presume that...
the comic book. Oh, wow. See, I was going to say Three's Company, but I knew you guys wouldn't know that TV show. That's a very North American show. Yeah. Jack Tripper, and then, well...
we're here for all Alyson's current references, people. If you are 108 and listening and would like to know about Three's Company, is that a really old show? It sounds like an old show.
Yeah. It is. It was definitely. It was. But it was great. It was a classic, and North America will never forget Three's Company. So
hey guys, we can go as It's a Wonderful Life. We are here on Backchannel every morning with the cutting edge chat. That's where we are. Thank you, producer Will. Back in your box room. There you go. Just like that. Yeah, we are chatting Halloween this morning. We're going to be playing some games that you can get involved in. We're going to be doing the 1-star movie review where we're going to read out and give you clues for a movie that got 1 star. But you're going to let us guess. You're going to guess even what 1-star movie it was. What 1-star movie could it be? We're going to be doing that very, very shortly. Before we do, Allyson, you are not at home this morning. Where are you?
No, I am not at home. I am, again, we are comedians and I am on the road and I am in Wales. So I'm in a hotel in Cardiff, Wales right now, which is the capital city of Wales, I do believe.
It is. It
Yes,
is.
I'm in the capital of Wales right now. It's lovely. It's very rainy and drizzly outside, but that is fine because I'm inside with all of you on Backchannel.
Oh, that's so smoothly done. She's a professional, isn't she? And how is your hotel? Let's do a little hotel review. How is it?
Okay, well, I will not say the name of the hotel. And I've also chosen the nicest corner for everyone to be viewing if you do happen to see, which is a very tiny corner. It's fine. Hayley has stayed in this hotel before, and she gave me a little heads up to buy some slippers so my feet don't touch the floor. And I'm very grateful for that little tip, Hayley, because ghosts in this room is the least of my concerns right now. No, it's I'm gonna say out of 10, I'm gonna give it a solid 4.5 is what I'm giving this hotel.
You see, the reason I asked is because I have stayed in that hotel before, and I was like to Allyson, it's like playing the floor is lava, because you do not want to step on any of those stains. It's like jumping from the bed to a tabletop. I mean, it's like a crime scene. But you know what? We don't pay for it, so that's why we carry on staying there.
Exactly.
So stand-up comedians are so cheap. Like,
Well, we
yeah, I
have
think
to be,
there's
right?
an outline of a chalk outline on the floor, but you know what? It's free.
It's free. It wouldn't be free. I got a discount. So that's fine. Yeah, but I mean, hey, it's hey ho, right? Such is the life. It's so I'm all set up. So it's very lovely. we'll just call it Murder Hotel. Well, no, I think it's just a filthy. I don't know. Who knows what's happening
Yeah.
here?
let's hope they're not listening too loud next door, because the walls are paper. The walls are paper thin there, because I could hear when someone was pulling the toilet chain. So if you are listening and you do hear a flush, that is Allison's hotel.
That is true.
Welcome.
That's very true.
Good morning. You are listening to the Hayley and Allyson morning show here on Backchannel even. We are here every Monday to Friday at 6 till 8 a.m, waking you up, hopefully in the best possible way. We're going to have fun this morning. Get involved. If you're listening to the show, you can get involved by all you've got to do. The command to give to your device is the word say, followed by whatever you want to let us know. It's a Halloween special today. So every game that we're going to be playing, everything we're going to be doing this morning is roughly based around Halloween, including how I'm looking this morning. Rough. If you're watching on the live feed, this isn't makeup. This is real tiredness. That's what it is. Hello, Anna. She has joined the stream. Good morning, Anna. I hope you are well, whatever it is you are doing this morning. I hope you're awake and raring to go for the day. We're going to be chatting movies. We're going to be chatting horror movies now, because Allyson June Smith, big horror fan.
I love a scary film. It has been, look, from childhood, there's just something about a scary film. There's nothing more exciting than like tucking in, dimming down the lights, getting your snacks ready, and watching a scary movie. I feel it prepares us for scary events in life. It is a cathartic experience where you can get scared without any worry of real danger. That is why I love a horror movie.
Yeah, I do love a horror movie. I mean, it's been pretty much like a horror movie the past 2 years, hasn't it? But you know what? Let's watch something even worse than the old Rona. But we're going to chat horror movies now, Allyson, because obviously I know that your favourite is Nightmare on Elm Street 3.
Dream Warriors, yeah.
Warriors. I've watched some great horror movies, but not intentionally great. I love a bad movie when it's unintentionally meant to be bad. And here's one that I was telling you about off the air the other day. But I watched a film, I think 2005. I'm just googling it. Oh, it's got a really bad review on IMDb, which is not surprising. It's called The Ginger Dead Man. See what they've done there?
Oh, yeah. I do see what they've done there.
It's very obvious if you haven't worked it out. It's a huge gingerbread man that goes around killing people. And the plot, I'm just reading the plot on IMDb now. It says, an evil yet adorable gingerbread man comes to life with the soul of a convicted killer. This real-life cookie monster wreaks havoc on the girl who sent the killer to the electric chair. It's amazing, right? Google the trailer if you can of the Ginger Dead Man. If you need a laugh this morning, you need a bit of fun in your life. The Ginger Dead Man. It got 3.4 out of 10 on IMDb.
Yes.
So you know it's a classic.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for below 5s on IMDb when it comes to horror films. Otherwise, you're just watching the ones that everyone's watching. Who needs that?
It starred Gary Busey. It's, I mean, a load of names that no one's ever heard of there, and they've probably never worked again after that film. But it's a classic. Get involved, the Ginger Dead Man. It's rated 50. It's an hour and 10 minutes long, which is an hour and 10 minutes too much. If you want to watch that, let us know your favourite horror movies here on Backchannel. The command to give to your device is the word "say" followed by your favourite horror movie. So Allyson would say Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3. What's the duffest horror movie you've ever seen, Ali?
Like the worst, like one of the most ridiculous, or
Yeah. Worst.
Well, one that is on this list right now that I absolutely adore. Well, the two that are on this list that I absolutely adore that we have talked about. Jack Frost is by far one of my favorite horrible horror movies. Now, it is not the one with Michael Keaton. We touched on this a bit yesterday, but Jack Frost is an incredible film. It is horrible. Fake snow, because they filmed it in a place with no snow. So it's tremendous. Literally, you see cotton and their feet get stuck to it and lifts up whole snow drifts as they're walking out of the scene. But you know what? There wasn't a lot of detail in the editing, so they just let that go. It's tremendous. It's a prisoner van collides with a toxic waste truck. And
of course it does.
Yeah, they're kicked out. They hit the snow, and thus is a toxic, avenging, murdering snow killer, Jack Frost, and it's incredible. I don't want to spoil the ending. Don't worry, they do destroy the snowman. Yeah, and it's brilliant. It's brilliant.
Thank you, Allyson. We'll have to check that out. I haven't watched that one yet. Producer Will, what's your favourite Duff horror movie? Are you there, Producer Will? There he is.
Okay, so you may remember earlier in the week, if you've been listening or watching all week, you remember that we were talking about rubbish movies that we'd seen, and I, in kind of classic Producer Will style, couldn't really remember the name or plot of this movie. But since then, I've had a few days and I've figured it out. So the backstory is that my boyfriend at the time, he was really into horror movies, and it was Halloween, and he said, "Oh, do you want to watch this movie with me?" And just to kind of appease him, I was like, "Yeah, fine." And it was really bad and rubbish and scary. And okay, so it's called Goodnight Mummy, or Mommy in English, but it's a German,
like a war film.
Yeah, it's the English title, but it is in German. The whole film's in German because it's from like an Austrian team.
Mm-hmm.
It gets 6.7 out of 10 on IMDb.
Not bad.
And the synopsis: twin boys move to a new house with their mother after she had face-changing cosmetic surgery.
Yes.
But under the bandages is someone the boys don't recognize. It was very creepy.
That sounds like a very short movie. And who is it? Cher. I'd love it if she took the bandages off and it was Cher.
It's Dolly Parton. I think even those little Austrian boys would recognize Cher.
They'd know Cher.
And what happens to the rest of the movie? She takes the bandages off, they don't recognise her. And
they have to look after.
She's in the bandages for a long time. I remember this film. So
have you seen it, Allyson?
I remember it years ago. Yeah, I'm thinking of the two boys. I remember the scene where she's looking out the window and the boys are looking up at her, and this is when they're dawning that this isn't our mom. What's going on? It's not really mom. So she's in the bandages, so they care for her for a long time, and that's how they start to trigger that. What? Our mom doesn't drink tea. She drinks coffee. And just little things like that.
Terrifying. That's so scary. If someone was drinking coffee and they're a tea drinker. Yeah. Horror.
Like, they're twin boys. She starts mixing up which one is which, I mean, my only sibling is my sister who's 5 years older than me. and still sometimes my mother calls me Elizabeth. So I don't think we can hold that against her.
But maybe that's after Queen Elizabeth, because you often wear pearls around the house and like.
It is true.
Yeah, it could be that could be it. Just genuinely a bit of a queen, is that what you're saying?
You said it.
My words, not yours.
I just Darren Browned it. Yeah, that does sound. I mean, it sounds like I would actually watch that. It sounds like a good film.
It is.
Well, maybe we'll have a Backchannel movie night, and that can be the first one that we watch.
Yeah, let us know. Let us know your favourite horror movie or your favourite Duff horror movie. The command to give to your device is the word say, followed by whatever the name of your movie is. Allyson was telling me about the Microwave Massacre the other day. Maybe that's your favourite movie.
Yes.
I'll tell you what, Ali, before you do, Microwave Massacre to me is just when I put beans in the microwave and don't actually put a covering on top.
Microwave Massacre is what I call every dinner I make. That is what I call all of that's my cooking, that's my street name with the cooks. So Microwave Massacre is this is a gem. It is a 1983 classic, everyone, 1983. A man kills his wife in a drunken rage and disposes of her by cooking and eating her, which gives him a taste for human flesh. Now, here's the thing. This is when microwaves were kind of a newer thing. And so the whole movie, it's like this huge, like almost life-size microwave. So it was before we really had a concept of what microwaves really are. Because, let's be honest, I don't know about you, but I don't think I could fit my boyfriend in a microwave. So,
Also, if you're enjoying your breakfast this morning, I'm sorry.
It's Halloween. It's Halloween. There is no enjoying eating today, everyone. Welcome. Microwave Massacre. 4.3 out of 10 on IMDb.
Oh, there you go. Check that out if you are. Like I say, let us know your favourite horror movies. Get involved with the show. We are here every Monday to Friday on the Hayley and Allyson Breakfast Show. Now, Allyson has said all week what a huge horror movie fan she is. So I thought, do you know what? I'm going to put that to the test. And I'm going to do, Allyson, I'm going to test your Halloween knowledge now. If you want to help Allyson out, do so. The command to give to your device the word say, followed by the answer. And I'm going to be asking
Allyson, I highly encourage people to get involved because so far my game skills, I'm just saying I'm still warming up, everyone. It's been a week of games. I'm still a little rusty. So if you think you can help, please do say to your device, say, Allyson, here's the help you need, and give me some answers. So I'm ready.
Here we go, Allyson. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you the synopsis of a famous horror movie, or maybe not famous. Who knows? I might throw a few off the scent. And you're going to tell me the name of the movie. Is that all right?
Okay.
You're going to guess anyway. You might not get it right. Here we go.
I'm ready.
Movie number 1. After a vintage doll turns up at a suburban yard sale, our idyllic American town is thrown into chaos as a series of horrifying murders begin to expose the town's hypocrisies and secrets.
Okay, now I'm torn between two. Because initially I would say The Conjuring, because I think of toys and they collect things and it was about a doll. However, particularly murders in a small town, I'm going to go with the classic Chucky is what I'm going to go with.
You're 100% right, Allyson. Of course you are. But you're quite right. There are every horror film usually involves children's toys in some
dolls.
way.
Always dolls, and the eyes follow you everywhere. Yeah.
I hate China dolls now. Do you know if someone not many people do these days, but older people tend to have China dolls in their house. Oh, no.
You know what the scariest doll is of all? Did you ever have the doll be on the back of the toilet and they had the knit that you would put over top of the toilet paper roll? So it was you would hide extra toilet paper roll with a Barbie, a doll, and she would just be stuck down the center and her skirt would cover the toilet paper. To me, that was the scariest because I was like, I don't need her watching me throughout this whole performance. Thank you very much. And she's got a back view. That's not a good view, It's
not a good view. And also, the poor woman's just stuffed full of toilet roll permanently.
This is her life.
It's her life. What a life that is. What they should do. She's not in Toy Story, is she? Because they won't want any of those scenes. There he is. He's just sat on the toilet. Just her in the back balking. just being
She's
sick.
dragging around a roll of toilet paper with her everywhere she goes. I gotta take this thing. Hang on, let me crawl into it again. Just a minute, guys.
Oh, Andy's got diarrhea. No. But yeah, Chucky is that one. Well done, Allyson. You got one question right. Here is another synopsis to a famous horror movie. But which one is it? Which one is it? Which one is it? That's a jingle. A curious youngster moves to Salem. Ooh, good spooky town. A curious youngster moves to Salem where he struggles to fit in before awakening a trio of diabolical witches that were executed in the 17th century.
A troubled youngster moves to Salem. Is it Salem? Is it the horror movie Salem?
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, that's my final answer.
Incorrect, Allyson.
Oh.
Yeah, this is one of my favourite horror movies as well. It's Hocus Pocus.
Ah.
A trio of witches.
Can I ask this, though? Can I just put this out there?
Mm-hmm.
Is Hocus Pocus a scary film? Or is it a comedy?
Now, just don't be trying to... Just accept the fact you've lost a point. Just accept the fact, mate.
Listeners, if you think that Hocus Pocus is more of a comedy, please say to your device, say, Hocus Pocus is a comedy. Allyson is still winning. Go on. I'm winning what? We don't know, but...
Yeah, absolutely nothing. There you go. If you want to get involved where you can win nothing, then do. The command to say to your device is the word say. Is Allyson right? It's not. Listen, it's a horror movie. These are horror genres. Accept it. You've got 1 out of 2 correct so far.
Right.
Here's another one.
All right. Okay.
Here we go. Okay, I'm going to do a spooky voice. A year after the murder of her mother. It's not spooky, is it? It just sounds like
an announcer. Like,
yeah. Oh, I can't do it.
It's a wrestling. You sound like a wrestler announcer there.
A year after the murder of her mother, a teenage girl is terrorized by a new killer who targets the girl and her friends by using horror films as part of a deadly game.
A teenage girl is terrorized by a new killer who targets the girl. His friends are as a part of a deadly game.
If you know what the answer is, the command to give to your device is the word say, followed by your answer. No one's got it right so far. Help Allyson out here. Let us know what the film is. I'll say the clue again. A year after the murder of her mother, a teenage girl is terrorized by a new killer. I mean, it sounds like there's been an old killer. I mean, this poor girl, give her a break. Who targets the girl and her friends by using horror films as part of a deadly game.
Oh, I think I know what it is. So far, everyone hasn't sent in this option, so I'm gonna put in a final answer. Scream. Is it Scream?
It is Scream, Allyson. Well done. You got that right. She's redeemed herself, everybody. Whoop, whoop. Well done, Ally.
Sydney, and it was Sydney was the main one in that, right? Sydney, yes. And her mother gets killed. Yeah. And then we have Courtney Cox in there as well. It was a great film. Scream, honestly, is fantastic. I really enjoyed that film. To me, that's a good teen horror film because you get a lot of jumps. There's humor in it because it also has some humor in it. Although I wouldn't class it a comedy, it does fall into the horror category, in my opinion, which is why I knew it.
Let it go. Let it go. As Elsa says, let it go. We'll do one more, mate. And this is the. If you get this right, I'll let you win. Let you win. If you get it wrong, okay. You've completely lost the game. Okay. So there's no pressure. Well, there is no pressure because there's no prize. A group of camp counselors. I mean, that's like on a camp, not like a camp counselors. Trying to reopen a summer camp called Crystal Lake, which has a grim past, are stalked by a mysterious killer. You should know this one.
I mean, I already know it. I just want to give people a chance. I mean, don't let me down, people. Come on, say to your device, say, and tell me what it is. We all know. Camp counselors, it's at Crystal Lake. Come on, I know what's going on. We all know it. I want to give you another second so far.
Oh, Jeff from Nevada, he's got the answer right. Well done.
Did Jeff? Oh, yes, he did. Okay, Jeff and I. Yes, Jeff, we are on the same page.
You haven't said it yet. I've just let this go. I've just give you the clue, haven't I? Did you actually know it, Allyson?
I do. It is Friday the 13th is what it is with lovely Jason.
It is Friday the 13th. Well done, Jeff from Nevada. Rob from California, he guessed wrong now. He said, is it Saturday the 6th? I think he's just having a laugh. I think he's having a laugh. Good morning, if you are listening. Welcome to the Hayley and Allyson Breakfast Show. I can see Paul has joined the stream. Hi, Paul. Hope you are well this morning and enjoying whatever it is you're doing. We are here until 8 a.m. waking you up with our Halloween special. So let's have a look. We've played the game. We're going to cover the news stories now, I think, Allyson.
All right, yeah, let's get into some fun news stories.
Fun news stories. Now, listen, here at Backchannel, we don't like to bring you down with stories that are actually happening around the world. We like to bring you the fun news stories. And because it's Halloween, this is a Halloween-themed news story special. Do you want to get the first Halloween-themed story, Ellie?
I would absolutely love to. So our first story is coming from New Zealand. The headline is, New Zealand Council ends contract with Wizard after 2 decades of service. That's right. New Zealand has decided to no longer have their wizard on the payroll. So a gentleman, I believe he's from the UK, went over to New Zealand. He is a wizard, started playing the role of wizard, would do blessings on children, perform minor wizardry tasks, I believe is the technical term.
What's a minor wizardry task?
A minor wizardry task would be, like I said, blessing children, perhaps. Oh, a rain dance. He did some rain dances for the. I believe he did some, to get some rain. So minor wizardry tasks. Everyone.
Get a real job. That's what I say.
And he was there, and he got paid what, $16,000 a year. He was on on payroll, $60,000 a year, because hey, look, minor tasks, they're not easy to do.
It's not a thing. It's not a real thing.
Look, Hayley, come on now. Have you been to New Zealand? Do you know? You don't know. There might be a lot of wizards, but this was one that New Zealand was like, yes, we're going with you. But after many, many years, they decided that it's no longer time.
Yeah, I think they realized he wasn't doing anything but just had a beard. And they're like, what are your qualifications to be a wizard? I'd want to see the letter from Hogwarts. I'd be like,
right now, officially, show me. And I want the letter to just to appear in front of me. I want it to float in front of me. So and he was very upset. So he, of course, is very upset and is like, you know what, this does so much for tourism in New Zealand.
So much for his bank balance.
It does so much that he feels it's really going to affect New Zealand to not have him anymore. And I'm with you. He goes, I give children happy dreams, general good health, and I want to make bureaucrats become more human. I appreciate that. These are wizardry tasks, making bureaucrats
I
more
think
human.
that would be make or break for a lot of people booking their trip to New Zealand. They're like, I think I'm going to go, can see all the beautiful scenery. Oh, hang on, there's not a wizard anymore. No, I think we're just going to have to cancel. I think we'll go Australia instead. But bless him. I hope he does find another job. I hope there's another. Imagine looking in the paper for wizard vacancies. You're going to be there sometime.
Professional wizardry work. I'm very good at, and I mean, was it smart for the council to fire him? He's a wizard. I'd be a little scared. That's all I'm saying, New Zealand. All I'm saying is get ready to be infested with frogs or something. I don't know. Something's going to happen now. But that's a big thing.
If you are a wizard, if you are listening and you are a wizard, let us know what your minor wizardry tasks are. The command to give to your device is the word say, followed by actually. We do quite a bit. Producer Will says a major wizard task's probably defeating Voldemort. I shouldn't be saying it. I shouldn't say his name, should I? But there you go. What's going to happen? Here's another Halloween spooky story that's been happening around the world this week. 2 in 5 Americans say ghosts exist.
Oh, I'm actually surprised. Not a high number. 2 and 5.
Mm.
Okay. Okay.
But 1 in 5 say they've encountered one.
Mm. There we
2
go.
out of 2 people on this show can't work out the maths. But there we go. Yes.
It is true. There was a lot of like when you go through this article, it's like I think they got into like women and men. Do women? And I think women believe more overall than men did. To be honest with you, that's what it said there. Yeah,
it's Halloween just days away on Sunday. It's a season for all things spooky. Their new government survey. Maybe there's a few other things going on in the world now that you could look into. They decided to do a survey of 1,000 people, of American adults, so it's not even child, finding that people aren't convinced that they're just stuff of scary movies. They think they're real. So 2 in 5 Americans that were asked say ghost exists, and 1 in 5 say they've encountered one. But far fewer Americans believe in the existence of werewolves. Only 9% of Americans believe in werewolves. Vampires, only 8% believe in them, although 31% think that other supernatural beings do exist. And that 31% was the wizard that they asked.
You know what though? I'm kind of with that. I have a hard time going werewolf reality, but ghost I can, and paranormal things beyond our, but someone, standing in the moonlight and, change. I don't know. I don't think I can. I can go vampire or werewolf. I don't know, for some reason I believe that I know that energy vampires exist. I truly believe that. I think there are humans who know how to suck the energy out of you, and I call them energy vampires. There you go. They exist. That's real.
It is real, Allyson, and I do find you very draining. If you're listening, welcome to the Hayley and Allyson Breakfast Show.
How dare you, Hayley? How dare you? I'm sucking all the energy you have. Wait, no, you have a child. There is no energy. That is fine. You are safe with me.
Yeah, there's nothing, mate. I'm just a hollow tube. I'm a hollow tube of a woman. Allyson, you are a constant joy. Of course, you're not an energy vampire, but you are quite correct. I sort of believe in vampires in a way.
Do you?
Well, I just want Robert Pattinson to come around my house, to be honest with you. That's what
I'm hoping for vampires. Yeah.
Hey, come on in, have a cup of tea. I believe you've got a story about a haunted, the voice of children. Because I tell you what, there's 3 specific things in horror movies that they always have. They always have wind chimes. You always hear them in a horror movie. What else do they sort of have as standard? Killers just broke free.
Yeah, killers just broke free. Insane asylum. There's always someone got away from an insane asylum. Lots of. But the main one, and this is a big one, is children singing. It's always creepy. La 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 la. Right. This is a terrifying thought, which is why I love Nightmare on Elm Street so much. It's a banging tune. It's a banging scary tune that they sing all throughout it. But there was a town, let me double check this from the Mirror. So there's a town in Ipswich. Here we go. So it's Ipswich in the UK. And the town would hear every so often the children singing, "It's raining, it's pouring, the old man is snoring." You know that. Na, 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 na. And the whole town would hear it from time to time, like late at night, all hours of the day, this children singing, this creepy. And so everyone was like, what is going on? Anyway, they tracked where it was coming from. This is after a long period of time living in terror. They tracked it. And what it was one of the residents had an alarm, a motion alarm set up in their their shed, their outdoor area. And it was turned on. The sensitivity was very high and the volume was too high. So the sensitivity, the motion detector was picking up spiders walking around. So every time spiders would walk around, this motion sensor off, and the alarm was creepy children singing. And the owners of this place,
So their idea was that instead of having like a normal alarm, people would listen to it more if it was children singing.
I guess. Also, they forgot that that's what they set the alarm to, or they were just sadistic and they were like, let's scare the heck out of the town. Let's do this. But yeah, that's what it was. It was an alarm. It was simply an alarm that was turned up too high with the motion sensor and the volume.
That
Well done.
is terrifying. I can't think of anything more that would freak me out at hearing at 2 a.m. Just a child singing a nursery rhyme. Yeah.
Yeah.
Horrible. What a story. There's another story I seen based again on the horror theme. There's a hotel that is offering guests a terrible night's sleep, because that's what you want when you stay in a hotel. Just like Allyson's going to have tonight in her hotel, but
I was going to say, it's happening. I'm here. This is it. This is my reality. All right, go on.
They are offering this as a service, a terrible night's sleep. And that includes, as part of the terrible night's sleep package that they get, prank calls and creepy noises. I mean, this just sounds like a hotel in the UK, to be honest with you. And it is, but they're charging for it. It's a hotel in London, is being dubbed the Dread and Breakfast. Hey. Where guests are promised they won't spend a peaceful night thanks to the weird array of destructions on offer. They're promising guests a terrible night's sleep, with services including prank calls, banging on the walls. I mean, this just could be any hotel in the UK. I think what they've got is they've had a bad review on TripAdvisor and then gone, do you know what, it's Halloween. Let's
run with it. Let's really work it this weekend. Let's really work. I don't know if you saw in the article too, I read part of it. Not only creepy phone calls, banging on the walls, people enter your room.
Yes.
Maybe that's just...
Is it just so, like, the maid? And she's like, oh, no, sorry, I thought.
Sorry
about when they do that. Can I change the towels?
I think, no, they're having, like, people, like, creepy people, like, dress up or just enter. I don't know. But the thought of somebody entering that's one of my absolute paranoid phobias. Like, I hate being in a hotel that has the joining door, that door to the other room, because you're always like, one night I stayed in a hotel and somebody knocked on it. I was like, no, no, like, I never am I answering the inside hotel room door. Yeah.
Oh no. And what time did they knock on the adjoining? That should be a name for a horror movie, the adjoining door. What time did they knock on that?
It was like after midnight, like it was evening, because I'd come back from the gig and I was sitting in my room and I just heard a cluck, cluck, cluck. And I was like,
was it a chicken?
It was. Cluck, cluck, even as I said it, I was like, cluck, cluck, cluck. Okay, that was my rooster. I apologize, everyone. Good morning here at Backchannel. Here with Hayley and Allyson.
We slightly had too much coffee this morning, and Allison's doing impressions of a chicken knocking on an adjoining wall. Welcome. Those are our stories from our horror stories from around the UK this morning. Coming up, we're going to be doing our agony aunties section very shortly. Myself and Allyson are your agony aunties. We will be solving / not really solving your problems. If you've got a problem, don't speak to the A team. You want to speak to the agony aunties. All you need to do, the command to give to your device is the word say, followed by a problem. If you're listening, you have a problem you would like us to attempt to solve. And the word attempt is used very, very sparingly. Then get in touch. We've already had some through from the other day, so we're going to be answering those very shortly. Coming up also, we're going to be doing the 1-star movie review. We're going to give you some clues as to a movie that got 1-star, horror movie as well. We're on a horror theme, and we want you to guess what it is. We're also going to be playing a quick game of true or false, where you can get involved. We are the interactive show here at Backchannel, so we need your help doing those. Let's go to our agony auntie section, Allyson.
Let's do this. And also, listeners, I always like to encourage. So we offer our knowledge and advice. Again, Hayley and I are not professional therapists or professional advice givers. We are just putting out there what we know. If you are listening and you think you have some advice, or you hear a problem and you're like, I went through this, I know what to do. Like we say, just say to your device, say, and give us that very well appreciated advice for our listeners, because sometimes people have been through things and they can give great advice. So we also just want to open it up. So if you're listening, feel free to share advice as well. All right, Hayley, let's hit it. Let's do this. First problem.
Okay, this is from Kerry in Texas. And Kerry in Texas has said, let's get my teeth back in. Kerry from Texas, did not say that. What she did say was, my housemate has her boyfriend to stay for days at a time. And while he's nice, clean, tidy, and they mostly keep to themselves, having another body in the house obviously affects how quickly we get through household objects, etc. Is it unreasonable of me to start asking him to cough up?
Well, yeah.
Sorry,
Hayley,
Allyson, before you do
the
it. Word cough up should not really be used sparingly during Corona times. So maybe don't ask him to cough up because, people are getting scared when that's happening at the minute. But Allyson, you give the actual advice.
It was good advice, though, Hayley. That was excellent advice.
Thanks.
Carrie, I'm going to say first off, it is aggravating when they have a partner and they bring over. At least he's nice, right? Let's look at silver lining right now. You're like, he's not a bad guy. I don't mind him. I think, though, your point of contact is your roommate, not him. I think you need to speak to your roommate and say, hey, it's fine. He's here. That's great. But I do find we are going through, some things. So I'm just wondering if we want to, I don't know, split it 3 ways just for some things because, he is here a lot. The other thing you could also do is, and I don't think there's anything wrong with this, politely say, or maybe the reason why they're always at yours as opposed to his, but sometimes you need to be able to have some time on your own and maybe you don't want the couple around. So I don't think there's anything wrong with saying like, hey, just wondering, Thursday I've had a stressful week. I just kind of want to be, on my own. Is there any chance, you guys might, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I really don't. But I don't think you should be asking him directly because he is just doing what his girlfriend says. And his girlfriend's like, come on over, use all the toilet paper, go for it. That's where my mind goes, is running out of toilet paper. But
yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking when she said we run out of things. I was like,
toilet paper. Yeah.
Toilet paper. I'm trying to think of other household stuff. Obviously, washing up liquid, maybe, because they're doing more plates.
I hope it's not food. If they started eating my food, I would lose my mind. I wouldn't even hesitate. I'd be like, get your own food. Immediately. But also, are they always in front of the big TV? Can you not get in the living room? If it's things like that, I would say speak to your roommate politely. Again, as I always say, it's not an attack. It's a conversation. That's what you're about to have. Yeah.
But it does, the way you say it makes it sound like an attack. It's not an attack. It's a conversation. Very, very passive aggressive. There you go, Kerry from Texas. We're solving your problems here. I say solving. We're discussing your problems here on the Hayley and Allyson Breakfast Show. If you've got a problem you'd like us to solve, then please do get in touch. The command to give to your device is the word "say" followed by your problem. Here's another one. Harriet from London. She got in touch. And she said, I work in the city for a large business with lots of employees. When the pandemic hit, we were all sent to work from home, and I love it. Now they're really pushing for us to come back, and I just can't face it. I want to keep working from home. Is it drastic just to quit?
Well, look, I understand. I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting to work from home. My first thing would be, Harriet, is have you even had a discussion about further working from home? I know they're like, we want you to, but could you say that, maybe go to your doctor, stress, mental health wise? Do you just feel like you'll be able to perform stronger from being at home? I would open up having a conversation, maybe even, meet in the middle. Say you could come in sometimes, but you want to work from home. I just think quit is drastic. Although if you don't like the job, then I guess this is the indication, right? But if it is a job you do like, finding that happy medium sometimes can be an option. Hayley, what do you think?
I think working from home is great because you can have a little drink on a Sunday and still go into your box room hungover. They don't know. Not got a problem, it's fine. But yeah, you can wear, like me and Allyson are working from home. Allison's in a hotel at the moment. It's comfortable. We can wear, you can't see what we've got on the lower half here. I'm still in my pajamas. It's great. But yeah, there's going to be a point where, unfortunately, you were hired to do a job, to go into a workplace, and if they want you to come back, unfortunately, that's what's happening at the moment. But if it's making you really miserable, then quit. Life's too short, isn't it? Life is
It really
too short.
is. It really is. Because your job is what you do for a majority of your life. So if you don't like your job, you're not enjoying your life. So really look at, I would say, Harriet, really look at, I mean, do you want to keep this job? Do you love it? If so, maybe have discussions with the employer about going back and forth. Who knows? Maybe they want to have less people in the office. Maybe by you saying, I really do want to continue working from home, they're like, oh, that's great. We actually didn't realize. So again, open dialogue with your employer. And if they're really like, no, come back into the office, then I'd be like, well, do I want to do this job for the rest of my life? Maybe this is the sign.
This is the sign. Producer Will, I'm going to do a problem for you and Allyson, because I think this is right up your street, Producer Will. Yes. Taylor.
Okay.
Will came in that was so like, he was ready to listen right out of the gate. I wish you could all see him.
I'm
He had
engaged.
his chin on his vest, ready to go.
I've got my agony uncle hat on.
Oh.
You said you were engaged. Is that another jibe at me not getting asked?
Not today, Hayley. Not today.
Taylor from 8 years I've been with him. Taylor from Michigan. She got in touch with a problem the other day, and she said some of the things that used to excite me when I was younger or that I used to look forward to are boring or feel tedious now. How do I know when I'm old? And I know because my bladder is telling me. That's how I know. But Producer Will and Allyson, would you want to solve that one for Taylor?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Let's take a look. So what do you think? Do you have any thoughts, Will? Some things that used to excite me when I was younger or that I used to look forward to are boring or feeling tedious now. How do I know when I'm old? Well, Will is our young person. So Will, what would you imagine being old like?
Okay, I've got a lot of thoughts on this. As we talked about yesterday, our very own Queen Elizabeth said that you're only as old as you feel.
Yes.
So unless you feel old, you're not old. Don't worry about it. And second of all, who cares? Like, if you don't want to do the things that you used to want to do something else. Let me tell you, learn how to knit. I learned how to knit. It's awesome. It's so much fun. Find new things that excite you, and I'm telling you, you're gonna have a great time with them. It's gonna be very exciting.
I think that's exactly what I was thinking. It's like, well, you know what? Sometimes we do grow past things. It's not a matter of old. It's who you are on the inside. Sometimes just our interests, where we're at, what we want to focus our time on, it changes, right? When I was young, I played with Barbies all the time. I don't feel I'm old because I'm not playing with Barbies anymore, because now I am living Barbie's life, everyone. That's you can't see me, but I'm blonde. I stand on my tippy toes all the time. I am living Barbie's life. But yeah, and also we're supposed to grow and change because we're supposed to do a bunch of different things throughout our lives. That's what keeps us young, is doing different things.
It's natural for this progression to happen where the things that used to excite you, I'm assuming, Taylor, that's like, I'm imagining that some of these things are going out to clubs, being up until 4 a.m. This is in my head. This is what you're talking about, and I think it's so natural. It happened to me. I'm 25, and I'm like, I just can't do that anymore. I just don't want to. So now I do different things, and they fit in with kind of like my life and what's going on, and it's great. I have a great time.
Yeah. How do you know when I'm old? I mean, again, let's just keep that queen. I love that. You're only as old as you feel. So I've just decided to not be old. That is what I'm doing. I have just decided. I've just made the commitment to myself. I will not be old. My body doesn't always agree with that decision, but especially my arches, fallen arches. Maybe that's how you know when you're old, when your arches fall. But you know what? They got lots of arch supports nowadays, so you can just move on from that. Yeah.
You can also just stop having birthdays.
Or
every birthday, just be 25 again. Oh, it's my 25th this year. Oh, it's my 25th this year. Oh, how am I going to be next year? I'm going to be 25.
Yeah.
I can't believe I've come back and we're talking arch supports.
But here on Backchannel, hitting you with all.
That's because I'm the fun, trendy, young, interesting one. That's why we're talking about arch support.
Welcome to Backchannel. If you've joined us and are questioning why, stay tuned, because we're going to be playing some fun games later. We're going to be talking about more. Maybe we'll talk about leg supports when you're sleeping. Who knows? This is the place where we will be doing that every morning here on Backchannel. If you're listening, get involved. The command to say to your device is the word say, or you can tweet us if you are on the old Twitter at Backchannel Live, and let us know your thoughts about, not about arch supports though. because let's save that for when we're in our 80s. Thank you, Will.
Thank you.
we've got one more problem, then we're going to move on to our 1-star movie review, where you can get involved and play the game. Another question, John from Toronto. Oh, do you know him, Allyson?
You bet I do, right? I know John from Toronto. Yeah.
He
Hey,
says,
John.
I'm 25 and I've started saving for a mortgage so I can finally get a foot on the housing ladder. But all my friends are going on holiday and are out having fun. I feel like I'm sacrificing these things just to save for the future. Is it okay to splash the cash, or should I keep on being responsible?
Well, first off, John, I want to congratulate you for being responsible. There is part of me that I always wish I would have been a bit more, saving a bit. Because what do they say? Even if you start to put away $5 a day from a young age, you'd be amazed at how quickly you can save up. So, I mean, you're saving for, and I want you to think about this. They're all partying now. They're going to these, going on holidays. You will be able to throw amazing house parties once you own your own property. And that's when the fun for you might begin, right? You'll be like, who needs turkey? I brought turkey here. Who needs Mexico? Mexico's in the house. I just think you should praise yourself for being so responsible. Is it okay to splash a bit of cash? I mean, also, though, you want to live your life a little bit. Yeah, I think you should have a little bit more fun. Maybe give yourself a little bit of a leeway. But it sounds like you figured out, John, what's more important, and that is having a house later on. So, yeah.
I mean, you've said that, Allyson, that he'll be able to have all these wild house parties. But if he's that responsible, I wouldn't want any. I'd be so worried about people spilling drinks on my carpet. I'd be like, I've just paid for this house. You need to move away from that sofa with that red wine. Like, yeah, I mean, listen, yeah, you'll be reaping the rewards later, John, when they're on their 30s and they're poor and they've got no home, they're still living with their parents. You'll be like, can be a little bit smug about it. But you do you, John, and that's the easy way out, isn't it? You do you.
Yeah. Yeah, especially if you're not, they're out and having fun. I feel like I'm sacrificing just to save for the future. I mean, yeah, but John, look, if you're unhappy in your life, then I think you need to do a few more fun things. But if you're happy with your life, but you're just looking, I'll tell you this, don't compare yourself to other people, John. Number one, what's the biggest rule? Comparison is the killer of all joy. You might be living a great life, looking forward, shopping for houses every night, if that is what makes you happy, then don't even look at what they're doing, because a lot of the times it's all smoke and mirrors and they're not really having that much of a good time. That's my opinion.
Yeah, and if you look at Allyson, John, at the minute, she's in a hotel. She's away from home, but it's not pleasant. It's not pleasant at all. So if you go off what you see on social media, Alyson's quite right. Thank you for all your problems that you've sent in. If you do have a problem for us, then the command to give to your device is the word say, followed by your problem, and we will try and solve it. Maybe tomorrow, not tomorrow because we're not here, it's Saturday. Monday to Friday, we will be solving your problem. So just sit on that problem for a little bit. Obviously, if you've got a leak in your house, get a plumber out. Don't wait for myself and Allyson to be back on Monday to solve it. Allyson, there's a lot of strange phobias about in the world. We know that arachnophobia is fear of spiders, but there's a lot of other phobias that I'm not quite sure of what they are, and there's some unusual words. So I thought I'm going to test you, see if you can work out what these phobias are.
Okay, I love this. This is fun. This is a last-minute game, everyone. We have sprung this one in last minute just for you here on Backchannel, everyone. If you think you might know the phobia as well, please say to your device, say, and tell the phobia, because we know Allyson's game skills. Let's do it, Hayley.
Don't have a phobia of getting in touch. The command you give to your device is the word say. Get involved with this one. So, okay, I'm going to start you off with a very easy one.
Okay.
Zoophobia.
Oh, and I have to know the word. Oh,
you have to tell me what it is a fear of. So zoophobia.
A zoophobia.
What is it?
Would it be a fear of, I'm going to say zoo, but I'm going to say, would it be fear of animals in enclosed space? Yeah. Is it animals?
Just a fear of animals. Yeah, zoophobia. There you go.
She cut me off before I went on the wrong track. I was like,
Yeah.
animals that are. She's like, no, animals. That is it. Stop
Yeah.
talking. Great.
I know what you're
Great.
like when you lose a game. I just can't face you kicking off, so I just cut you off there. Here we go. Okay. Glossophobia. Tricky one.
Glossophobia. I feel like glossophobia. Does this something to do with eyes? Is it a fear of eyes? I feel like something.
Okay, I'm going to give you a clue because it is
Yeah.
very hard to get that from the word.
Okay.
So it's, for example, what we do for a living.
Speaking? Would it be a fear of getting in front of groups of people and speaking?
Yeah, glossophobia is a fear of public speaking.
Hey, I am not glossophobic. That's great. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, we'll do one more, then we'll move on to our 1-star movie review. Thank you for joining us. If you are listening this morning, we can see we've got Sandy from Florida on the stream, and Brianna from California, Maddox from Illinois, Alex from California. Loads of you listening this morning. Hello to you all. I hope you're all having a wonderful day so far. We are talking phobias. I mean, a lot of them are self-explanatory, but I'm going to go for one that isn't, trying to make it a little bit tricky for you. Autophobia.
Oh, autophobia. Isn't that a fear of well, I mean, I guess I'm going to think sounds. Autophobia, a fear of it's either a fear of sounds or cars. Oh, Mike, that's what Mike says. Mike wrote in, says fear of self-driving cars. Yeah, I'm with you, Mike. That yeah, that sounds wonderful. I agree. Look, autophobia, I'm going to go with hearing. I'm going to go with sounds, the fear of certain types of sounds.
It's not autophobia, and I should have given you a clue because it's very, very hard to get that. It's the fear of being alone.
Well, Mike, you are not alone. We were both wrong on that one. So you and I, Mike, we are not alone. We are both wrong together, Mike. So we do not have autophobia. Don't you worry about it. Okay, fear of being alone. Isn't that interesting?
I thought autophobia was going to be like a fear of autocorrect on your phone. Do you know when it gets it really wrong and sometimes you send something really rude? You send something quite rude to a parent. Oh no, I've got autophobia. But thank you for that, Allyson. We're going to crack on with the 1-star movie review all week here at Backchannel on the Hayley and Allyson Breakfast Show. We have been sort of testing your knowledge by reading out bad reviews of places, of movies that people have actually physically left these online. And we want you to guess what the movie is that people have left this 1-star review for. So I'm going to give you some clues. We'll do the reveal later on in the show. These are 4 different reviews I'm going to be telling you of the same classic Halloween movie, but can you guess which Halloween movie these specific people have give 1 star to? Okay. If you know the answer, Allyson, because Allyson is a big horror fan, don't let it slip.
I won't. I'll keep it inside. But we do beg listeners, please do get involved. Let us know what you think it is, because I'm curious to know if there are other horror fans like me that can identify it. All right. So 1-star reviews. Should I start? I'll read the first one. Can I read the first one, Hayley?
Yeah,
here we go. So guess the movie. Here's a review. I have been more frightened watching Saturday Night Live. There was nothing scary about it. It was too juvenile fright movie. Teens might like it if they are very immature. Oh, well, I'm sorry, Grandma. No, I'm kidding. So this person says that they were unfrightened. They're more frightened watching Saturday Night Live. That's a bit harsh, but
I mean, it depends who the guest host is, doesn't it?
It really does. It's all about the host, let's be honest. Swears there was nothing scary. It was juvenile. And that teens might like it if they're very immature. I don't know why I'm saying this, but I'm angry at this person for being so. But I guess you're allowed. So they think it's an immature and juvenile. Okay.
I'll give you another clue before we read out some of your guesses. If you can love these movies, then by all means do so. Just don't do it around me, if you please. No for me. I like my horror movies to be great, like worth seeing. The fans of this movie are like, and it's like a really lucky people. This movie and its franchise horror movie kin are able to give to them something that I can never have. Whatever it is this movie gives me, it cannot match the time I lose seeing it. It is an unequal exchange, and I want back whatever it is that I have lost. It's pretty harsh, that.
That is harsh. That is. They're not really giving away much of the movie, too. They're just. I hated it. It was awful. Although in that clue, we do have franchise. Franchise horror movie. So there's a little hinty poo.
Hinty poo. It's a hinty poo. Why have you
A
got me saying
hinty
that?
poo.
Don't have me saying that.
You said it with true conviction too, and that hinty poo we just gave it.
We sound like Ned Flanders right now. We got a little hinty poo for you there.
Coming
So
up.
teens might like it. So there's a clue, and it's a franchise. What horror movie do you think we are talking about? It got 1 star of these 2 different reviews. 2 people online give it 1 star. But what horror movie do you think it is? The command to give to your device is the word say, followed by your guess. We've had 1 so far. Billy from Manchester says, is it Saw? Good guess, Billy. We will be telling you later on whether you are right or not. If anyone else has a guess, then I say the command to give to your device is the word say, or you can also tweet us at Backchannel Live with your guess. Allyson, should we give them 1 more clue?
Let's do 1 more clue. Let's do 1 more. Let me read this one. All right. So, yes, back in early 80s when I was young, this was scary. But fast forward to 2021 and being over 40, this is garbage. Okay, well, we could apply that to almost any horror movie. But so they're saying so, but we've got back in the early 80s. So we've got a time frame now. When I was young, this was scary. But fast forward to now and being over 40, this is garbage. Okay. All right. So a little defensive. But the idea of maybe the concept was scarier when they were younger. That's interesting. Okay. So early 80s. Yeah.
I think, like you say, though, you watch a lot of 80s films now and they are bad.
Yeah. The only reason we watch them again is because nostalgia. We're like, oh, I remember the feeling I had when I first watched this. You watch it now and you're like, these effects are horrible. But I think we always look past it when it's something that we fell in love with when we were young. So, yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. There's a clue. It's a teen movie, or they think teens might like it. It's part of a franchise, and it was back in the early 80s. If you've got a guess, then do let us know. The command to give to your device is the word say, followed by your answer. I'll give you 1 last clue before we move on. Sam from Sheffield says it's Gremlins. They seem very sure.
Very confident. And Gremlins, great flick. Thank you, Sam.
We will let you know, Sam and Billy, also whether your answers are correct later on in the show. I'll just give you 1 more clue to linger on before we do. The movie was terrible. I know in 1984 it was a cultural staple, but of you considering rewatching it or viewing it for the first time, just don't. The acting is terrible. None of the characters deliver their lines with appropriate emotion. All right, Stanislavski. Truly, all I can say about this movie is that it wasted 93 minutes. That's very precise. 93 minutes of my life. That being said, it was still better than The Shape of Water.
Oh, okay. Look at that. So I don't even know if you want to trust this one's opinion. They've said better than The Shape of Water. Wow. Okay. Hayley, did you like The Shape of Water?
I did. I really liked it. Yeah. So eat that. I don't know what that means. But I'll give you a few little minor clues before we move on. This was Johnny Depp's film debut. Yeah, it made 57 million at the US box office. The film was inspired by real life events.
Now, I did not even know that. That's terrifying, actually, when I think of that. I did not know that. Sorry to cut you off, Hayley. Wow.
Oh, yeah. And it was shot, the whole movie, in just 32 days.
Wow.
So there you go. Let us know your answers. What do you think the 1-star movie is? The command to say to your device is the word say, followed by your answer, or you can tweet us at Backchannel Live. Also, would you like to play, Allyson, a game of true or false?
Oh, you know I would, Hayley. I keep hoping my true and false skills will get a bit better. But yes, true and false. I mean, like I say every day, this is the best game to play because there's only 2 answers to choose from. You got a 50-50 or 100% choice. It's a great game. So get involved. Just say to your device, say, and give us a true or false answer. Let's get into this. Let's get to this. Let's true.
Okay, so
False. Do you want me first? Do you want to ask me?
yeah, you ask me one. You ask me
Okay.
one.
Let me start this off. True or false, Hayley? The origins of Halloween can be traced back to Ireland. True or false?
I can imagine that being true because of Celtic sort of spooky stories, but I have a feeling Halloween is an American thing. I mean, is it like Valentine's Day where it was just a commercial thing? I don't know actually about the origins of Halloween. Never felt a need for it before now. But here at Backchannel, we're letting you know whether this is a true fact or a false fact. Do the origins of Halloween can be traced back to Ireland? I'm going to go false. I think it's American.
You're going to go false. Well, Jamie from Ireland, who has spoken into us, disagrees with you, Hayley. He or she says it is true. And you know what? They are right, Hayley. It is true. The origins of Halloween can be traced back to Ireland, everyone. Who knew? Who knew? It's not just potatoes. They've also given us Halloween, everyone. So I'm surprised we're not about Halloween. If you're an Irish listener, I do apologize for falling on the potato generic bandwagon, but come on, potatoes.
Hey,
but yeah,
listen,
true.
you go and eat some maple syrup and leave this next one to me. So, is it true or false fact for you? Is this true or false? There is always a full moon on Halloween. True or false?
Oh, goodness. I have never looked up on the sky every Halloween, but I'm going to say because the way the moon is and I don't, spatial and the rotational and all that gravitational, I'm going to say it's false. I'm going to say there isn't always a full moon on Halloween because there isn't a full moon on certain days, the rest of the days of the year. So I'm going to say that is false.
Of course it's false, Allyson. Yeah, it's very rare, apparently, for it to be a full moon on Halloween, although there was one last year. There you go. Do you want to hit me with one?
I do. All right. True or false, Hayley? Candy/sweets, as they call them here in the UK, has always been the traditional offering for trick-or-treaters. Candy has always been the traditional offering for trick-or-treaters. Is that true or false, Hayley?
I mean, I am going to go false with that. I can't imagine, because if it started many moons ago in Ireland, I can't imagine sweets was the thing they gave out. I don't know what they gave, but yeah, I don't think that's true. I think sweets come along later as a commercial thing. I think it's false.
Well, Hayley, that is interesting and also absolutely correct. It is false. Woo-hoo! Candy is not what was given out at first. They gave out, get ready for this, fruits and nuts. Everyone is what was given out. Right now, if you were to give children fruits and nuts, you would be given an egg thrown at your door is what would happen, everyone. So good trading skills is what we would learn there. Here's some fruit and nuts. Here's some eggs.
I didn't realize that it was just squirrels that used to trick or treat, but there you go. You learn something new every day on the Hayley.
There was also no allergies. There was no allergies back then, so it was fun. Give those kids nuts. Let's do it.
That's right. Let's get rid of those kids. Here we go. Another true or false. Get involved at home. The command to say to your device is the word say, followed by whether you think it is true or false. Help Allyson out on this one. Here we go, Ali, for you. The makers of candy corn make £1 million of the candy every year.
Well, maker of candy corn, 1 million pounds of candy every year. I don't know why, but I feel like it would even be more than 1 million pounds. So I'm going to say that's false. I think they make more.
Can anyone help her? Let's have a look here. We've got John from Ohio. He says that's false. He agrees with you.
Yeah.
Is he right? Yes, you're both right. Yes, it's false. They make over £35 million of candy, so you're quite right. They do make a lot more. That's 9 billion pieces of candy corn. That is some trip to the dentist after you've eaten all that, isn't it?
Which is so funny though, because we say candy corn. I think I've maybe only had candy corn a couple times in my life. What about you, Hayley? Little corned candies, little.
I think I mean I've only ever been to America once when it was Halloween, and because they're not a thing in the UK, candy corn.
Candy corn is not a thing in the. See, I wouldn't even know
No.
that. That's how much I'm eating candy corn, right? First thing I did, I moved to the UK, and I was like, "Where are your candy corn shops?"
Do you get it shipped up? So do you know, like, you're now in the UK and stuff, and they don't do the same sort of treats? What's different? That, like, what do you miss from Canada that they don't do here?
Okay, so in Canada, I'm not even sure if they have in the States. I'm pretty sure they do because I remember commercials when I was a child, but it is a type of chocolate bar. It is called an O. Henry chocolate bar. And the adverts used to be a woman going, "Oh, Henry." It was an O. Henry. It's a chocolate bar. And it's nougat, so nugget and caramel and chocolate and peanuts. It is absolutely delicious. They don't have it here. So I get my mom to send Henry bars. In fact, she was the one who pointed out they don't have them here. It didn't dawn on me. And she was like, "Oh, you must miss O. Henry's." And I was like, well, I hadn't thought about it. And then Danny was like, "What's an O. Henry bar?" And then my mom was like, at that moment, she had to go out and get him an O. Henry bar when he was in Canada. She's like, "Well, I'll be back in a minute. I got to go get him an O. Henry bar." So she went and got him an O. Henry bar, and it changed his world. So now, literally, when we go to Canada, we take a suitcase specifically for O. Henry bars.
Here is producer Will.
It sounds like a Snickers.
It does sound like, yes, and I'm with you. But it's the quantity of all the different things. I just think it's a better blend. Snickers is lovely. I am not offending Snickers. Snickers, if you are listening, you are a lovely chocolate bar.
Please, if you want to sponsor this show, Snickers, please get in touch.
Do it. But there's just something about O. Henry. It's magical. I don't know. It's I'm going to bring you both back some from Canada so you can try an O. Henry bar because
Thank you.
It's pretty good. So that's the one thing I really miss is O. Henry's.
Okay.
Yeah.
That will be all.
Thanks, Will, for that input.
My input was, it sounds like a Snickers.
You're like, "I don't believe this. This is Snickers."
Well, it's because, okay, my thought process is that I know that the thing, like a Mars bar and a Milky Way, I know in the States are like opposite. Like they're called. Do you see what I'm getting at? Again, I'm being super clear.
It's like one of those body swap films. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like
Yes.
they just have different names. Candies have different names in different parts of the world, is what I was getting at. So I was like, oh wait, is it just a Snickers? But no, I assumed that you would know after 9 years of living in the UK. I assumed that you probably would have figured that out by now.
I can't
would have figured
believe
it out.
you have patronised her over candy first thing in the morning, Will.
Yep, that's it. I'm just trying to make enemies.
Wait, I know I could never be your enemy. Does a Snickers bar have fudge? There's fudge in an O. Henry as well.
It's been so long since I've had a Snickers, I don't really remember.
There we go. So it might be the fudge that makes it different because an O. Henry is a candy bar containing peanuts, caramel, and fudge coated in chocolate.
Before I go, can you say "Oh Henry" again?
Oh, Henry.
Oh, Henry.
Oh Henry.
Oh, Henry.
Hi, Will.
I love it.
If you've just tuned in, welcome to Backchannel. This is the Hayley and Allyson show where we are talking candy in Canada. We were just talking about reminiscing about the old Henry bars that she used to have. We're currently playing a game of true or false. Get involved. The command to say to your device is the word true. Let us know what you think. Allyson, I've got another question for you. Are you ready for this one?
I'm ready. True or false? Let's do this.
The world's largest pumpkin weighed over 1,000 pounds. True or false?
Ooh, the world's largest pumpkin weighed over 1,000 pounds. I mean, that's a lot. That's pretty heavy. I'm going to say, my instinct is to go false, but you know what? I'm going to go true. I'm going to go true on this one just because I'm not a professional pumpkin grower. And
Are you not?
I
can't believe you're
not.
just telling me that now.
I know. I do a lot of pumpkin talk. I'm fully aware. You would think that I professionally know my pumpkins. But I'm gonna say true. I'm gonna go against my natural instinct and say that is true. Yes.
Yeah, it is true, Allyson. You are quite correct. It was actually
Yay!
£1,800.
Holy cow, that's quite the difference. Almost another whole 1,000-pound pumpkin added to that. Wow.
Can you imagine trying to hollow that one out?
You would be eating pumpkin seeds for the rest of, I want to say the year, but possibly your life. You would never want to. You'd be eating pumpkin everything: pumpkin pie, pumpkin muffins, pumpkin bread. Do we have that yet? It will be a thing with 1,000-pound pumpkins. Wow, pumpkin.
Yeah.
Are you a pumpkin fan, Hayley? Do you like pumpkin stuff, like pumpkin spice? Now's the season for pumpkin spiced everything.
Not really. I'll tell you, I like a pumpkin latte. Do they do them? What are they? Is it actually pumpkin? You know what?
It's pumpkin spice. It'll be a pumpkin spice, is what it is. So from Starbucks, that what you're thinking, or Costa
or any
other,
or any other.
That's right. Several other. I did not mean to say that. Coffee shops in general. Are you thinking pumpkin?
I am. Yeah. I'm thinking of a general coffee shop that does a pumpkin spice latte that writes my name on the cup incorrectly. Yeah, I like that. That's it. I'm not a fan of pumpkins in general because it says it's always like, oh, you can make a pumpkin soup, or you could make this, and you could make it.
Oh yeah.
No, not
no.
Me.
See, the idea of pumpkin soup, I got excited there. I was like, ooh, I love a soup. Ooh, pumpkin soup. Yeah.
If you've just joined us, we are playing True or False here on Backchannel on the Hayley and Allyson Breakfast Show. Get involved. Let us know if you think the answer is true or false, just by saying the command to your device, the word say, followed by true or false. I'm going to give you one more question.
Wait, do you want to give it to me, or do you want me to ask you? Do you want to know if it's true or false?
You ask me.
Let's ask you. I want to test your knowledge. So, the television show Scooby-Doo never had a Halloween episode. Now, did you even have Scooby-Doo as a child growing up?
Of course we did.
Right. I love that you were so, what are you talking about? Of course
we had. Anything that was good from the States, we had. Like 20 years later.
I'm watching it now.
We've only just got it. We've only just had trainers come over here. Yes,
sneakers.
I'm going to say
sneakers for North American listeners is what trainers are.
Yeah, I'm going to say. So, what was the question again? Scooby-Doo.
Is the television show Scooby-Doo never had a Halloween episode? Is that true, or is that false?
It's got to be false, because almost every episode of Halloween, Scooby-Doo is sort of Halloween themed. They would have got away with it too if it wasn't for that person monitoring the episodes. I'm going to go false. Hey.
Yeah, absolutely correct. It is false. In fact, they had loads of Halloween episodes. And when I think back to Scooby-Doo, all I can remember is them dressing up in costumes and being ghosts. And they had a lot of paranormal kind of episodes as well. So yes, false. They had loads of Halloween episodes on Scooby-Doo. You're very good at this game.
I'm very good. Yeah, you're right. I've got 1 out of 1 right. Thank you for being so enthusiastic about my diabolical Halloween trivia. It's a Halloween themed episode today on the Hayley and Allyson Breakfast Show here on Backchannel. Get involved. We are here until 8 a.m. So if you want to join in the chat, the command to give to your device is the word say, followed by whatever you would like us to know. Hello, if you've just joined us. We're talking Halloween. What's the most scared you've ever been, Allyson? Has there been a time where you've been absolutely petrified? I mean, let's keep it light though, nothing too heavy for this time in the morning.
I have a great one. So here is I was saying before, I didn't really believe in ghosts or the paranormal until the thing happened. Here's my thing real quick. I used to be a teacher. I was a substitute / a supply teacher. And one day I went into a school that I had gone into many times before. And what I would do is on the spares or on the preps, that was like a one class where you didn't really have anything. Often they'd try and get the substitutes to teach other classes, but I would always hide in the downstairs staff bathroom. So I would use the facilities and just hide. I would just not be found. So I would literally take a book. I would hide for that 40-minute period downstairs in the staff ladies' loo. So I was in there reading my book, and it was attached to the library. So the one wall is attached. Great. Brick wall, no problem. I'm in there reading my book. All of a sudden, it was just like I can't explain it, but you don't really notice it until someone's not there. But the feeling when somebody enters a room, like the feeling when all of a sudden you're like, oh, there's someone else here. I got that weird feeling. And then out of the corner of my eye on the wall that was attached to the library, I just saw like a real black shadow, like the blackest thing. And it just kind of scooted in the corner of my eye. I got this real creepy feeling. I got out, I left. I went to my next class. As I entered the class, not a word of a lie, 2 students were like, hey, Miss Smith, did you hear that this school is haunted? And I was like, no, what are you talking about? And they're like, apparently a librarian killed herself years ago downstairs in the library. This moments after I had that moment down to the library, and so she haunts it to this day. So I'm telling you, I just feel that was a moment. That was a moment for me where I was like, well, yeah. Hayley,
Allyson,
already
okay.
take it.
I am instantly suspicious that that's happened, and then kids who are known for playing tricks have gone, hey, have you heard about it being haunted? They've done something. Yeah. They've done something.
Maybe. I mean, it's possible. Maybe kids are very smart with technology nowadays. Maybe they figured out how to cast a black shadow on a brick wall. I don't.
They've definitely done something. It's like when they go, hey, there's a £5 note on the floor. Why don't you pick it up, miss? And it's stuck to the floor. They've done something. It's not a coincidence that. If you think it's a coincidence, let us know here at Backchannel. Because you're a supply teacher. All supply teachers are known for is kids playing tricks as well.
We're being suckers. We buy into whatever you tell us. Yeah. But it was scary. It was scary to have that happen and then have the kids say it right after. I was like, ooh, if ever there was something from beyond, this is my moment. Yeah.
But there you go. It's always a library as well, isn't it? In like Ghostbusters and things like that.
Now, what about you? What about you? You're calling on mine. What about you? Do you have any paranormal?
Not really. I mean, the closest we come to it. So for a charity over here in the UK, myself and 2 other comedians and 2 reality TV stars, we stayed in a haunted hotel. We stayed in a room that was meant to be really haunted by the ghost of a boy. We stayed there overnight one night, and it was very dark, and we heard something clash off the wall, like it's like someone had been thrown. So we turned the lights on really quickly, and it was one of the men who was in the room with us just throwing a pen around the room in the dark.
So, as you do. Yeah. Everyone's sleeping. Let me just throw some stuff around now. Wow.
I mean, do you know what? In that instance, I wasn't scared because I was with other people. But say I would have been in that room on my own, then I probably would have been petrified, just because the thought of people telling you it's haunted makes you get a little bit panicky, doesn't it?
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so I'm feeling that you don't necessarily really believe in ghost stories, Hayley. I'm picking up that you are like, no, I'm not buying what you're selling when it comes to scary stories.
No, I do believe there is. You know, I'd like to believe, because I'd like to haunt a few people when I pass, Allyson. I would love to do that. We're talking ghost stories here on Backchannel. Producer Will, do you have a ghost story for us?
Ooh,
here is Will.
No, I don't think so. You asked about the most scared that you've ever been. And I'm just like a really jumpy person. I'm scared all the time. So I everything makes me jump, and everybody, all my housemates laugh at me because anytime anybody comes down the stairs, I laugh. I jump, and then. But it's funny that you say that, because the other day, and I think I must just have been tired because I was working quite late into the night, and I was convinced I could see things. Like sometimes I just catch things out of the corner of my eye, and I'm convinced that there's like something moving. Or the worst one is, like when the first time you wake up in the morning. And you're like, oh my God, there's something in the corner of my room. Like, there's somebody stood there. There's a shape, a figure. It's just like a coat that you hung up yesterday.
Oh, it's called a one-night stand, that, Will.
That's the other thing, is that I've not actually seen a ghost, but I have been ghosted quite a lot.
Oh, there we go. All right.
Which is quite festive for this time of year.
Getting in the swing of Halloween.
Seasonal.
Let us
Nobody
know if
texted
you're a
back.
ghoster here on Backchannel by saying to your device, I ghost, and then leave
And
immediately, everyone.
if you're someone who I match with on Tinder who's not texting me back, also say to your device, "Sorry, Will, I think you're boring."
I mean, this is very specific now. I think you're using this service for
Yeah.
your own means.
The only reason I signed up to this show is to find a boyfriend. No, that's not true.
Well, look what you've got instead. 2 middle-aged women.
You too, lovely ladies.
Thanks, producer Will.
Thank you,
Thanks,
producer
guys.
Will.
Do you know what the scariest thing that does actually happen? Because since I've had a child, is when her toys just go off for no reason. When she's not in the room, that's the worst.
That would absolutely that's a big thing on Poltergeist, the movie Poltergeist. That's what happens. A lot of the toys start up. It's a very traditional horror movie cliche, or what is it? The thing they use, I forget the technical term, but it is definitely and that would scare me to death. I remember when I used to babysit and that would happen, right? I'd be a teenager, you'd be babysitting and you'd hear like the toys go off or little things. I think that's when I was the most scared, was when I was a babysitter in other people's houses.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be scared having you as the babysitter, to be honest with you.
Hey, Hayley, does that mean I am not babysitting your child? Is that what you're...
child, have you ever heard of O. Henry bars? Just like, can I just watch cartoons, please? Why is this woman trying to force candy on me? We've been doing the 1-star movie review throughout the show. We've been basically dripping you clues, the film that got 1 star by several people online. And we want you to guess what you think the movie is. So if you're listening, this is a film that got 1 star of several people online. Of course, people online are very critical because they can be. They have a voice now. But this review, we're going to give you the clues again. See if you can work out what the movie is. We've had a few guesses. We've had a guess of Saw. We've had a guess of, what was the other guess, Allyson? Gremlins.
Yep.
Let us know what you think this is. This has got 1 star. These are all from different people who all give the movie 1 star. The first clue was, I've been more frightened watching Saturday Night Live. Nothing scary about it. It was too juvenile to be a fright movie. Teens might like it if they are very immature.
Very
scathing
harsh
review.
Very harsh. Written by a grandmother, apparently. Then we have the next review, another one that says, if you love these movies, then by all means do so. Just don't do it around me, if you please. No for me. I like my horror movies to be great, like worth seeing. The fans of this movie and its ilk are lucky, lucky people. This movie and its franchise horror movie Kin, there's a hint, franchise, are able to give them something that I can never have. What it is this movie gives me, it cannot match. I love seeing it. Wow. It is an unequal exchange, and I want it back, whatever it is that I have lost. So they are just upset that they gave away time. But in there, it's a franchise movie. That's a good one. There we go.
Yep. Another clue was that this person also left it a 1-star review. Back in the early 80s when I was young, this was scary, but fast forward to 2019 and being over 40, this is garbage. What film are they talking about? What horror film did they give 1 review to? The command to give to your device is the word say, followed by your guess. Have a little guess, join in with the game, see if you can work out what film they're talking about. And the last clue, this movie was terrible. I know in 1984, big cluey there, it was a cultural staple, but if you are considering rewatching it or viewing it for the first time, just don't. The acting is terrible. None of the characters deliver their lines with appropriate emotion. Truly, all I can say about this movie is that it wasted 93 minutes of my life. That being said, it was still better than The Shape of Water. 1 star. Which film is it they are talking about? Let us know. The command to give to your device is say. So, for example, echo, say. I think the answer is Gremlins, as someone has already guessed. But we will be letting you know later on whether you are correct. Just disappeared from my screen there because I dropped a piece of paper. Allyson. Producer Will, in his show notes for us, he preps our show for us very, very well. Thank you, Producer Will. Yep. He said that you strike him, Allyson, as the kind of person who's had your tarot read.
Oh, you know what? I have had cards read for me in the past, although I have to admit, I mean, some people have been more accurate with cards than others, but I feel people who do cards, they're just very good at reading people. I think you can really read people. So yes, I've had my cards done. Yes, I have had some readings that were pretty bang on, very accurate. And then I've had other readings where I'm like, no, you are reading my sister, not me right now, because we are polar opposites. So yeah, I've had it done. I've had it done. What about you? Have you had your tarot cards read before, Hayley?
You've just reminded me. So there's a comedian on the UK circuit, him and myself and Allyson know, who Lou Conran. She does tarot readings, and she gave me a tarot reading once. Now this is quite funny. So basically, I pulled out the death card like 3 times, which is terrifying. And she was like, "No, it doesn't mean your life is over. It just means there's a new part of your life could be starting."
Yes.
But she looked terrified though, so that wasn't good. But how weird is this? A week after she did that reading, I found out I was pregnant.
Oh my God, I was going to say that. Is that when you found out you were pregnant? Yes.
Yeah.
Your life is over. Your life is over. No, I'm kidding.
It's so true. So I didn't do a pregnancy test. I just had a tarot reading where they said my life was finished, and I was like, oh my God. That explains why I've been sick of a morning. But yeah, weirdly, a week, I think it was a week or 2 weeks after I found out I was pregnant. I mean, do you know what? I'm a bit of a sucker for a fortune teller. I've got to admit.
Are you? You like going to get do you like the crystal ball? Do you like the whole like, let me look into it. Tell me my future. What's going to happen? Producer Will, you've got something to say. Producer Will.
You said, somebody said the word fortune, and it just reminded me of my favorite things in the world, and I can't believe that I've forgotten about it. Is fortune cookies. I absolutely love fortune cookies. I take it so seriously. Sometimes I'll spend, upwards of £15 on a Chinese takeout just so I can get a fortune cookie. And I always keep them. I have a little stack of fortunes that I've got from a fortune's cookie. This one says gooseberry.
Well, that's what you are at the minute. In the middle, stuck between me and Allyson having a conversation. Yeah.
So that wasn't overwhelmingly helpful. Gooseberry. No. I didn't really know how to interpret this. This one says always over deliver and under promise. No way. Always over deliver and under promise. Yeah, I think I said it right.
These just sound quite scathing, really.
I know. Where are you getting these leads? These are
the other one says lonely. The one after that says.
It's funny you should say that. This one says October, and this one says, which is another rubbish one. And I got this one just before I started working with you two. The love of your life will appear in front of you unexpectedly. But I think that's me when I just appear on your screen without telling you. I think that's what that's talking about.
You can tell that these are UK fortune cookies because they're so angry, like gooseberry,
gooseberry.
Yeah, loser. This one's weird. It says, "Don't eat at this restaurant anymore."
Yeah. It says, "Will, you're a terrible producer and you won't amount to anything," which is very specific.
We would never get them to do that. But yeah, I've been at fortune cookies. I've never had anything like that in them. Will usually they just say lottery numbers.
Yeah, I mean they have a series of numbers as well, and like Chinese characters, which obviously I don't read. But yeah, Allyson, I was so happy. I was just writing coming up with some ideas for the show, and I was just like, Allyson, based on absolutely nothing other than the conversations I've had with you over the past week. I was like, yeah, Allyson seems like the kind of person who's had a tarot read. I can't believe I was dead over that. I'm so happy.
Do you think that's because Allison's got big hair?
Honestly, I think it's the hair and I think it's the glasses. The glasses say to me, yes, I've had my tarot read.
I will have those tarot glasses. Readings. Yeah. Give them. Yeah. I think too, I always love it when people give readings and they're like, because here's the thing, when you're going to get your card read, you're obviously looking for something in your life. So then they're like, a change is coming. And you're like, oh my God, I knew it. That's why I was getting my cards read. I knew a change was coming. And it's like, all right, yeah, you're going to dye your hair next week now because that big change needs to happen. So I kind of feel like when you put yourself in the situation, you're looking for them to tell you something that you can connect with. Mm-hmm, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do you know what? Sorry, Will.
I was going to say, it's just like since someone said it, it's like you're going to make it happen. It's like you're just like a pre-fulfilling it.
Yes. The funniest one, you've just completely reminded me of something. I went to a fortune teller in Manchester in the UK with my friend Kathy, and it was in her house, And the first sign that maybe something wasn't right is that she used a normal pack of cards instead of tarot cards.
I see 6 diamonds in your future.
No, she genuinely did. So she was pulling out the cards, and then she sort of looked scared at me, and she just sort of went, "You are loved, you know. The spirits, they want you to know you are loved." And I was like, right. Then she said, Ribena, which is a drink in the UK. I don't know if it is in the US. And I went, "No, I'm okay, thank you." She went, "No, I can see Ribena." So I thought, this is just a woman who's mentally unstable.
She's looking at things in her fridge, in her kitchen.
I see
Ribena.
cheese. I see moldy red Leicester in your future.
But as I was leaving the house, we're on her drive, and my friend Kathy did a reason as well. She just sort of shouted at me as we were walking down the drive, "You are loved. They want you to know." So I was terrified that something bad was going to happen to me involving Ribena. I was going to.
And the fact that the fact that nobody loves you.
And no, that was genuinely terrifying.
Well, and did it ever come to like fruition?
What I did drink Ribena afterwards, so she was
great.
100% correct. Nothing really that she said. It was just, I mean, and she wasn't even trying to like extort us for money, because she only charged us a couple of, if you're in the US, only a couple of dollars. So it wasn't like she was trying to get loads of money out of us. It was a very bizarre experience. But there you go.
It's so bizarre that she used a regular type of playing
Yeah.
card. I don't think that's... Isn't
Not
it true that
angel
somebody...
cards or tarot cards, just here we go. She looks at you. Do you have a deck on you? Do you
Yeah.
you have a deck on you, right? Like,
What, do you know when you turn up to work, like if a builder turned up to work and they didn't have a drill, and they're like, "Do you know what, I'm just going to use this biro pen." Like, you'd be like, "That, you can't do that."
That's
But
not
yeah.
how it works. You need the proper tools. Isn't it true that somebody has to gift you a pack of tarot cards? If you're going to do a reading, you can't use your own. You can't like buy them for yourself. Is that true?
That is absolutely true. That is absolutely true. They're supposed to be given to you at some point in your, like, because that way it's the idea that the cards found you, and it's found their proper, like they found their way to you. You didn't just go, yeah, those are me.
I love those.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
clearly you've put them on your Amazon wish list for someone to buy them. Like, so they didn't find you. Like a delivery driver did. That's all that happened.
Well,
If you've had a tarot reading,
all I'm saying is the girl who gave you the reading, her cards have not found her yet, right? She's like, I keep waiting for my cards to turn up, but the universe is just, the spirits are lazy. So she's like, I'm not waiting. I'm giving
she was
readings.
just halfway through the reading, she just started a game of solitaire. She was just like, listen, if you've had a reading and it's come true, do let us know about that. The command to give to your device is the word "say," followed by your story. Do let us know. I can see a few of you are listening now. The command to give to your Echo or the device that you're using is the word "say," followed by whatever you'd like to say to us. Just tell us hello. We'd like to know that someone is listening, even if you are from the other side. Give us a sign. Maybe we get a Ouija board out. Maybe we get a Ouija board. See if anyone's listening that way. Have you ever used a Ouija board?
Scary.
No, too terrifying. Absolutely. I'm not, like I said, I'm not opening myself up. I'm not volunteering myself to the other side.
Asking for trouble.
Yeah, it is asking for trouble. It is. My mom is very religious too, so the whole idea of that was just, I think she put the terror of Ouija boards into me, because she's also like, even yoga, that spirits can get into you. My mom is a very religious woman, so
let's just rewind that. Yoga.
Yeah, certain yogas, she believes it's like, or meditate, anything to do like that, like get in you. Like, oh, all right. So my mom.
No, I know.
That would put the fear of you in you.
Yeah, I mean, some of those positions, something's getting into you. It's mainly air. I don't think it's spirits. I mean, if I've heard an excuse not to exercise, it's like, oh, I can't.
The spirit said no.
Yeah, Vicky's all no spirits. Yeah, she's she drinks like crazy, so that's fine. Spirits aren't getting into her when she's drunk, but it's if she does yoga, that's when they're really gonna. I think I see what's going on with my mother. You guys are right. She is just lazy and likes to party.
Oh, Allyson, there's no Christmas presents for you this year, just in case the spirits get inside the wrapping paper.
My problem with the Ouija board is that I'm not very good at spelling. So, because you know they do it letter by letter, I'll be like, what? I'll be like, can I write this down? Like,
imagine if you got it wrong.
And that's the thing. Even if
leave this house, what does it mean? You will die. I'm going to dye my hair. What?
Yeah. Even if I was trying to like fake it to prank somebody, I'd get it wrong. And I don't know if you can blame the spirit on that.
Yeah. Or could you imagine if you got a dyslexic spirit? I mean, that poor spirit, it's trying to communicate. It's been trying to give messages for years, and yet every time it just comes out wrong.
It'd be like a text message, and when it comes out the word duck, and you're like, "Oh, I get what they're saying there." Yeah, wow.
Autocorrect from the great beyond. Autocorrect from the great beyond.
Let us know if you've had anything spooky happen to you. Thank you, producer Will. Get involved here at Backchannel on the Hayley and Allyson show. The command to give to your device is the word say. I can see that Steve has joined the stream since we last had a little look. I hope you are well this morning. We are a Halloween themed episode here on Backchannel on the Hayley and Allyson show. We are here until 8 a.m. with you. We've been doing the 1-star movie review. All this week we have been reading out people's reviews where they've been very scathing, giving 1 star to films, monuments, whatever it is. They have left a bad review. Have you ever left a bad review, Ali?
Yes, I have left a couple of bad reviews, always food related. Usually when I'm in a hotel late at night and I order something and it comes to me and it's all wrong because I'm alone. I have no options. I'm in the hotel. And so my fury just goes online. I'm just like, you will feel my fury. I said no mushrooms on this pizza, or, I wanted a thin crust. And here you've given me a cheese crust. Yes, I'm happy about, but I told myself I wouldn't eat it. So yeah, my fury, my bad reviews are usually food related. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't think I've ever left a bad review. I'm too scared, like things like Uber and stuff. I'm like, oh no, they'll give me a bad review. I can't do that because they review you as well, don't they? But yeah, here we go. Here's the reviews of the 1-star movie. See if you can guess what this movie is. Before I did a clue, it's an 80s movie. Someone said back in the 80s when I was young, this was scary. But fast forward to 2019 and being over 40, this is garbage. 1 star they gave this movie. Another review said, I've been more frightened watching Saturday Night Live. There was nothing scary about it. It was too juvenile to be a fight movie. Teens might like it if they are very immature. 1 star. Have you got any more clues for us, Ellie?
Yeah, this movie was terrible. I know in 1984 was a cultural staple. Boom, boom, boom. 1984. There's a big one. It's a 93-minute long movie because they're upset because it wasted 93 minutes of their life. So if you want to look into that. Facts about the movie. This was Johnny Depp's debut in a film. Ooh, very exciting. Made $57 million at the box office. Inspired by real life events. I did not know that. I'm terrified now. And the whole movie was just shot in 32 days. So it's part of a franchise, 1984 cultural staple, which I believe because, what came out of that movie is still we use references from it all the time. And it was Johnny Depp's debut. That's a big one. That's a huge one to me because I'm amazed if people don't know that this was his film debut. Which
Johnny Depp's been around now. He's been around quite a while now. So he must have been maybe, how old was he when he did this movie then? 20s?
Oh, he would have been, super young. And the thing about, go ahead.
Sorry, Allyson, yeah.
No, I was going to say the thing about horror movies too, why I love them so much is because this is where a lot of actors get their debut. So for example, another one that I know of, Jennifer Aniston, her debut was in Leprechaun, which is again a classic. So I like to support bad movies because I feel as a performer, this is my chance of supporting. I want to support. A lot of direct, a lot of tech people who work on films. Horror films are a lot of the first big breaks for people. So that's why I'm a big fan of it. So, but this one was Johnny Depp's.
And there you go. So we've given you all the clues there. We've read out all of our 1-star reviews that people have given it. But what is the horror film? We've had a few guesses in. Billy from Manchester said, is it Saw? Is it part of the Saw trilogy? I mean, Billy, I'm going to rule that out myself. I don't know the answer, but I know Saw hasn't been around from the 80s, has it?
No, it hasn't.
Naughty's film. Sam from Sheffield said, is it Gremlins? That's more of a guess I could probably side with. Gremlins was an 80s film, but I don't think it was meant to be scary. Was it? I don't know. Let us know if you've got a guess. The command to give to your device is the word say, followed by your guess. We'll give you another minute or so to see if you can get it right. And then Allyson will do the reveal. In fact, I'm going to have a look and see if I can work out what this movie got on IMDb overall. IMDb, even. I always get them back to front. Have you got any more clues for this film?
Let's see. Mid 50s, real live events. Back in the 80s. I think we've gone through everything. I mean, I really think we've given away a lot of hints. I mean, Johnny Depp, think franchise started in the 80s. What else?
I can see that Jane from Illinois has got the answer right.
Yay! All right.
Sam in California. So yes, we've got a few of the answers. Well done, guys. You have got the answer right, because the answer, Allyson, is
Nightmare on Elm Street, everyone. Nightmare on Elm Street.
One of Alyson's favourite films, 1984. That came out, and based on a true story. Producer Will, can you expand on that? I can't. Nightmare on Elm Street is based on a true story.
Okay, it's like it's touch and go, and I can't really remember. It was about two kids, like they passed away in their sleep, and they were having nightmares about something. The other problem is that I've not actually seen a Nightmare on Elm Street, so I don't really know what happens in it.
Thank you for fact checking for us, Will, by giving us absolutely no more information than what we already had. Producer.
You're so welcome. I'm gonna find it out. I'm gonna go. My favorite place in the world is the IMDb trivia.
Yes. I think you're right, though. I think what it'll be, because very honestly, when they say based on on a true story, it's so thin, the truth. It'll be like a child had a dream about a man with long fingernails.
Yeah. I genuinely think that it was or even it was like twins that both had the same dream. That scared them or something.
Or it might even be a whole group of kids. For some reason, these kids all start having the same, because there's probably kids talking on a playground being like, oh, this scary, and then they go home and then having nightmares about it. I bet you kids can't sleep. I bet you, it happened in a small town and it affected a bunch of children, and that's where the story began. I bet you. Yeah.
I do have to say, though, based on a true story is one of my favorite genres of movies. I just love them.
They always replace, though, like when you watch, I don't want to be too harsh on this, but like The Greatest Showman and stuff, and that's played by Hugh Jackman and all these attractive people in it, then you see who it's actually based on, and you're like, oh, they've cast up on that, haven't they?
But sometimes I think there's something they do a really good job. Like the first do you know American Crime Story? It was like the People versus O.J. Simpson. The casting for that was incredible. They looked just like them, and that was an old. I've asked myself to think of an actor's name on the spot, and you just know that that's not going to happen.
No, it's always like a game of Guess Who. When Will tries to name someone, it's like, have they got glasses? Do they wear a hat? Is it Steve? It's always like a game of Guess Who.
There's a joke in my family that I'm really rubbish at Guess Who. I'm not good at it because I always put the wrong ones down. Anyway, the lawyer is Ross from Friends, David Schwimmer. There you go.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And he looked just like whoever Kardashian it was. It was great.
But usually they sort of take, I'm not going to say unattractive people, but then they cast like Brad Pitt. Make it realistic story. If it was a story based on my life, cast someone that looks like me. Realistically, we're talking like someone like Cameron Diaz, someone like Giselle. Just be realistic.
Yeah. Realism.
Realism.
I said Brad Pitt for me the other day, which, come on, could be brothers.
Absolutely.
I get mistaken for Brad Pitt all the time.
Yeah, if you're watching on the live feed, let us know if you thought it was us speaking to Brad Pitt.
Producer Brad.
Producer Brad. Thanks, Producer Will. Off he goes back to his bedroom where he won't be getting any supper tonight. Listen, if you've joined us today, thank you for listening to the show. This is the Hayley Allyson Show. We are back on Monday. Monday. We're going to be making your gloomy Monday a little bit more fun, hopefully, with interactive games, interactive chat. We are one of the shows where you can get involved with us on the live level. It's fun, it's interactive, and we are going to be here Monday to Friday next week, 6 till 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Do let us know if you've got a problem for us in the meantime. You want our agony aunties, myself and Allyson, to answer, get them in. The command to give to your device is the word say, followed by whatever you want to let us know. Today's been a Halloween themed show. If you'd like us to do another theme throughout next week, let us know what would you like the theme to be. Again, the command to give to your device is the word say, followed by the theme. Let's keep it reasonable. Don't let it be like your family history, because that would be very specific. Allyson is in Cardiff for the rest of the weekend, Ali?
Yes, this is it. Cardiff for 2 more shows. So I'll be spending my Halloween in Cardiff.
Ooh. And I am in Leeds in Yorkshire. I'm actually where producer Will is. Not stalking you, Will. I'm there doing a gig tonight. Myself and Allyson are stand-up comedians, so we often work the weekend. And producer Will, just very quickly come back. What are you up to this weekend?
Well, I'm going to see comedy in Leeds. That's not you.
It's not me. Very offended.
Yeah. And then I don't know. It's been a very busy week, so I've got some important real time in. I need to finish Squid Game on Netflix. I've had that going on for ages.
Big weekend for Will.
Absolutely, because as we established, I am an 80-year-old man.
You
and then
are.
I've got probably do some cooking, something exciting like that.
Well, lovely stuff. Thank you, Will. Have a lovely weekend. We shall see Will back on Monday, where I'll be letting him out of his closet again. And myself and Allyson hope you have a lovely weekend, don't we, Allyson?
We do. Happy Halloween, everyone.
Happy Halloween. Take care from all of us here at Backchannel. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.
Bye.